Okay, let's begin. So we're going to be looking at flats and houses we've completed across London. And today we're going to start with a two-bedroom flat in North London, which was quite dark and dingy when we first met the clients. And I'm going to show you how we transformed it into an airy, filled with light, new home to our clients. But I'm not going to show you the end design just yet. So if you have similar projects in mind or thinking about doing something for your home, stick around. This session is for you. We're going to go through the initial client brief, discuss the process. I'm going to sketch live and show you how we came about and how the thinking process went. And then we're I'm going to share with you the before and after photos, which are always very interesting. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them in a chat box or raise your hand at the end, and I'll happily start. So let's begin. So every project starts with an existing plan, so an existing condition, and starts with the client brief. The plans, the way we look at them is they're really like a jigsaw. And sometimes you just need very small changes or maneuvers to completely change the feel and the use of the space. In a lot of the projects, we go into a lot of kind of drastic changes and kind of demolish everything. But I'm going to start. So this is the existing rooms. The clients wanted to turn this flat into a modern flat. They wanted more storage, better use of it for their needs. This is a second home for them. They live outside of London and use the flat on the weekends. And they really wanted a fresh new start to it. Our first reaction was that some of the spaces in the flat, especially the bathroom and the kitchens, their location is completely wrong. We then felt like this bedroom, a single bedroom, could use with a bit more light, and we wanted to have a better connection between the living room and the kitchen. So in essence, what we've done is we've taken away this wall and we've punched through this wall. Now this wall is a structural wall, but that's not a real issue. So what this allowed us to do is, so we punched through this wall. This space became the new kitchen and has a better connection with the living room and more light coming through here. We took away this wall, and now this bedroom became a different orientation and now has two windows. Over here, this became the family bathroom. This stays as the master bedroom. We squeezed in here a walk-in wardrobe, which, although it kind of sits in the similar footprint, it's a better use of the wardrobe. This space here became guest WC. And then we found ways of providing a lot of storage for utility and other storage. And it's still a 600 square foot flat or 60 square meter. So as you can see on kind of paper, very small gestures, but in reality, we had to demolish the whole flat and start from fresh. So this is the new plan. So you come through here, and over here is a window that looks into the kitchen. The kitchen is here, number 2. What this allows for is if you're in the kitchen, you can see who's coming in. You get light from the living room, but also from the entrance. This is now a connection between the kitchen and the living room. The living room now has bespoke joinery throughout. So we use kind of existing niches in the space, and we've designed completely bespoke joinery to house kind of the TV units. These are kind of shelves here with the study space. The bedroom here has 2 windows. This is the new family bathroom. There's a utility cupboard here. There's another cupboard there. This is the guest WC, the master, and the walk-in wardrobe. So this is the before and after. As you can see, huge change. And I always enjoy, so when I go into a new project or a new site, we always take photographs of the existing, but kind of thinking ahead, getting interesting views, and then hopefully restaging those views for the final photos. So on the left, obviously, it's the pre-construction, and then on the right is the final flat. So I'll just go through some more photos. So this is so again the living room. We chose very light materials. The flat is completely white. White reflects a lot of light and also makes small spaces appear bigger. And then we added color in the form of the furniture, the fittings, etc. This is the window that I mentioned in the beginning. So as you kind of come in through the front door, you're faced by, or you're welcomed by this big window. Allows you to see into the kitchen. There's that kind of visual connection, and also it fills the corridor in the flat with a lot of light. This is the kitchen. It's fairly small. It's about 2 by 3 meters, but it's got everything in it. So it's a bit like a kitchen that you might get on a boat, but it's got a full-size fridge, oven, microwave. It's got a space-saving dishwasher. You can get dishwashers that are 40 centimeters wide instead of the 60 standard. So it's got a lot, kind of everything that you would expect a kitchen to have, but in a smaller footprint. This is the glimpse of the new living room. It was a joy to work on this project, even though it's relatively small, because it allowed us to specify and order all the furniture and all the interior fittings. This on the left is a bespoke sideboard that we designed to house all the TV equipment, and then all the cables feed through the wall into the TV, so it's completely kind of seamless. The flat has underfloor heating, again to avoid using radiators that take up space on the walls. On the right here, we've got kind of shelves, but also this shelf doubles up as a working table, and there's a concealed drawer that you can push and release. On the left here, this is the guest WC. So again, using very simple palette of materials, mirrors to reflect light. Two images here are of the family bathroom. And although it's positioned, if you remember on the plan, it's quite central in the flat, we've put in a high-level window to steal a bit of light from the bedroom next door, so that it does get filled with natural light and it feels less claustrophobic. This is the master bedroom. We've cladded the whole of this wall with a mirror, again to make the room feel bigger and reflect light from the windows opposite. And this is a sliding door into the walk-in wardrobe. Some of these fun before and after photos, a very basic kind of 70s kitchen that hasn't seen any TLC for a long time. Got moved to a better location and completely revamped. Again with the bathroom, the master bedroom. As you can see on the left, there was already a good size cupboard, but not fully utilized. So by doing small changes and shifting the walls slightly, we're able to gain a bit more space and a better use of it. So this is us. We're based in Archway. That's me, obviously. This here is Joseph, Ali, and Matthew. If you have any questions, feel free to ask now. You can also follow us on Instagram. There's a detail over here. We're also running online consultations. There are details on our website. We offer two possibilities of speaking to us. There's a 3-minute online consultation, which is free, but we ask to donate to our chosen charity. And we also offer a more in-depth consultation called a master plan. So thank you very much. Okay, so the floor we used is an oak floor. It's an engineered timber floor. And it's got a white wash to it.
He wouldn't have shown that that's us at the end bit, would he?
Just see what questions come. It's interesting.
Following from today, I'll send a video link to this recording, and I'll also share the presentation, and I'll include some of the finishes and fittings that we used. So the timber floor that was from a company called ESB, but it will be available in any wood flooring shop. These designs keep on changing, but usually you can Another question. How difficult would it be to move plumbing and electrics to different rooms, opposite ends of the flat? That's a very good question. It's usually, well, everything is usually possible, but there are some limitations. This was a ground floor flat, so we had more possibilities, but with electrics are very easy to move. The only thing that might be difficult to move is the main feed that comes into the property, which terminates in the switchboard, because that's quite complicated. But to relocate sockets and light fittings, that's very easy. With plumbing and especially waste soil pipe, the difficulty is that you need to maintain the correct gradient so that there's a flow from let's say the WC or from a sink to the manhole outside. So as long as you can keep that gradient and not have too many bends, you're okay. In this particular flat, we did all sorts of quite complicated plumbing solutions that are all kind of hidden behind walls, but we were able to fully utilize. On floors above first floor, you need to check the orientation of the floor joists in case you need to run the pipes between the joists. If the joists are running to the if your plumbing needs to be located like that, and the joists are cutting through it, then you're in a bit of a problem, because the danger is that if you start cutting through the joist, the whole structural integrity will be at risk. So I hope that answered your question. How many attempts before that final solution? We tend to start with about 3 options when we first sit down with a client. So the way the process works, we get the client's brief. The brief is like a wish list. So we always suggest clients to put everything on paper, all their wish lists, all their wishes, even the crazy ones or ones that they think that are expensive, and they might not be, but at least it's on paper, and that's how we start the design process. Once we have a set of existing drawings and the brief, we kind of play around, come up with a few options, and then we meet with the client and do like a workshop. So I'll tell you a small secret on this project. This project was a second flat that we did in the block. So the first flat was on the 3rd floor. The client didn't allow us to photograph it for personal reasons, but he was very nice and introduced us to the owners of the flat on the ground floor. So we had a bit of a testing ground on ideas on his flat, and the ground floor flat was a mirrored plan. Question from Barnaby. Great scheme. Thank you, Barnaby. How long did the construction work take? Assuming the only major structural works was the opening for the kitchen, or was this all not structural? Construction was about 4 months. It's a relatively small flat, but we completely brought it back to the bare bones, kind of tabula rasa. We also changed all the external windows to double glazing. And then some of the items had a long lead time, like the kitchen, which kind of adds to the overall construction time. Yes, the major structural change, or let's say the only structural change, was punching through this wall between the living room and what used to be the bathroom. This is a wall that is repeated throughout the flats. Structurally, it wasn't an issue, but what is important to do is either get a party wall agreement in place with your neighbors, or do a condition survey just to make sure that the work that you do doesn't affect the flat above or below you. But we've put the structure engineer specified the correct beam or lintel to put in this new opening, and it wasn't a very big opening. It's about 1.20 meters. If we were to go bigger, then that would have probably caused some alarm bells with the neighbors. The client budget at the time, so that was 5 years ago, was all in, I would say, about 130K. Again, it's a small flat, 60 square meters, but everything is new, kind of all the plumbing, electrics, all the finishes, all the fittings. And once you sort of start adding all these things, it does add up. So I think just the construction, you can probably get away with about 50, 60. Kitchen varies a lot. You can easily spend £100,000 on a kitchen just like that. But you don't have to. There's a lot of options out there. We've recently started doing kitchens from kind of IKEA carcasses, and then doing nicer doors front. They've also chose to change all the windows, so that was added cost, but overall about 130. Just checking if there's more questions. So if you have no more questions, thank you very much for joining. I'm planning to have another session before the new year on another project that we completed. It's going to be the Almington Street project. It's a side extension to a typical Victorian terrace in Finsbury Park. So thank you very much. I hope you're all safe and well, and enjoy the rest of the week. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.